What are the Nephilim and their connection to Noah's Ark? Have you ever wondered about the Nephilim and how they fit into the story of Noah's Ark? These mysterious beings are mentioned in the Bible, specifically in Genesis. They are described as mighty men or men of renown. This phrase suggests they were notable figures with extraordinary strength or power. The Nephilim appear in Genesis chapter 6, where it is said that the sons of God took human women as wives. The offspring of these unions were the Nephilim. The term Nephilim is often translated as fallen ones or giants, hinting at their impressive stature. There are different interpretations about who or what the Nephilim really were. One common belief is that they were the children of divine beings and humans, making them semi-divine figures. Others think they were simply powerful ancient warriors or descendants of notable lineages known for their might. Interestingly, the Bible mentions figures similar to the Nephilim later on. For instance, in the book of Numbers, Israelite spies report seeing giants in Canaan. This suggests that beings of great stature continued to exist even after the flood. Now, let's connect the Nephilim to Noah's Ark. The mention of the Nephilim comes just before the flood narrative begins. Genesis describes a world filled with wickedness, including the presence of the Nephilim. This sets the stage for God's decision to send the flood. However, the text does not directly state that the Nephilim caused the flood. Instead, it presents the flood as a judgment on the widespread corruption of humanity. Noah's Ark, as described in Genesis chapters 6 through 9, was built to save Noah, his family, and pairs of animals from the floodwaters. The purpose of the ark was to restart humanity and creation after the judgment. The Nephilim, being part of the pre-flood world, were not saved on the ark. They are not mentioned again in the flood narrative, suggesting their destruction during the flood. The story of the Nephilim and Noah's Ark highlights important themes. It speaks to human corruption, divine judgment, and the hope of renewal. The Nephilim representing a world marked by extraordinary but ultimately fallen power. In contrast, Noah's Ark symbolizes God's provision for a fresh start. For readers today, this narrative encourages reflection on the consequences of moral failure and the possibility of restoration through faith and obedience. The Nephilim were remarkable beings tied to the pre-flood era and the moral decline that led to the flood. Their story connects to Noah's Ark, emphasizing spiritual lessons about human nature and God's mercy.